morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. This is Dr. Sarah Renee Langley. I keep saying my government name, it just flows. We want to welcome you to Advancing in Adversity series. And I have my beautiful co-host, Dani Robinson, licensed social worker. Hey, Dani.
Hey, everybody. How you guys doing?
So everyone, thank you all for tuning in. You know what? I don't know where my phone. Okay, I got my phone. I was like, where's my phone? I had to check and make sure that y'all are checking in. So hope that you had a great day on purpose. And please, as always, we're so nosy. So we want to know, how was your day? Put a 1 in the comment section if you had a great day and what made it a great day. Shout out where you're from as well, you know, because hey, Philly in the house by way of Maryland. We got Jersey in the house.
Whoop, whoop.
So where are you? Where are you checking in? Where are you live streaming with us at? So put that in the comment section, but also let us know if you had a great day. Put a 1 in the comment section. And what made your day a great day? Put a 2 in the comment section if you had a so-so day. And if it was so-so, what made it so-so? And please make sure that you talk about what are you going to do differently to move that 2 to a 1 tomorrow. So, hey, we have a great show because see, we're getting to our place where we are wrapping up our series. All month long, we were talking about how to advance in adversity, how to look and engage in opportunities in every difficulty versus looking at the difficulty in every opportunity. We talked about how you can now start paying attention to yourself, how to make decisions that you want to now shift your perspective towards being better, being bigger, being brighter, you know, being the best version of yourself. And then we also talked about tips and strategies on how to help with your own self-care, how to check in with yourself, how to regroup and recenter, whether it's breathing exercises, affirmations, taking time to check on yourself for the next 5 to 7 days, you know, 5 to 10 minutes a day, just to make time for yourself in gratitude and appreciation. And then talk about tips and strategies on how to help identify those mental health concerns, you know, from anxiousness, anxiety, depression, being depressed, loneliness, uncertainty, all in between. What you need to do to help yourself out. And when at all else, it's time for you to see a mental health therapist like ourselves. So, hey, we want to make sure as we wrap out our series that we have provided significant value. And if you have seen a difference in yourself by being part of our series, please put in the comment section. Let us know if you have found value, if you have seen a difference, have you seen yourself getting better each and every day by you showing up and being a part of this conversation, because that would make us so happy to know that we were able to help you in that fashion. So put all that in the comment section, okay? And we really would appreciate it. And if all else, please make sure that y'all are sharing this out, because sharing is caring. You never know, you just might save a life in the process. So as I go ahead and check you all out and see where y'all shouting us from and where you're sharing this out to and where you from and how your day was, and if you know you found value in this whole entire series, we're going to check out Dani, and she's going to do her clap moment on the news today. So, hey, Dani, what's going on right now in America?
I know, right? Hi, everybody. I hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, so a couple of things I was just looking on. I know, you know, and I apologize I wasn't with you guys yesterday, but, you know, I was checking in. I was seeing how y'all was doing to see what was going on, you know, about the discussion was on the table. So, you know, Dr. Langley, it was interesting. I know you shared yesterday about the our brother NASCAR driver who was a victim, Bubba Wallace, who was a victim of having the noose on his car. So, according to reports about 2 hours ago, the FBI said that this was not a hate crime. According to the FBI, according to them, what they are saying that this piece of rope that was found was a coincidence from the investigation. It appears that it might have been a rope that was at the site sitting there since October of 2019, that it was in this garage. So I was just like, that's somewhat interesting. But according to them, they said it's through video confirmed by NASCAR. It was discovered the noose was in that garage as early as October 19th. So with that, the agency said that they're no longer pressing charges. So I was like, oh, that's interesting that this rope might have been tied in such a fashion that it just might have been torn and it just might have been sitting there since October in 2019 and nobody saw it. I ain't see the tape, so I'm not gonna say nothing. I'ma just, you know, you just like anything else, you just give it time. You just give things time. Because sometimes, you know, people may come with something, but you just get a little time, because everything that is not, you know, everything is done to the dark comes to the light. And if it doesn't, it'll come out in the wash. It's going to come out. So you just give everything time. I just find that quite suspicious, but you know, that is what it is. So that's one article. Also, I see that, you know, and I'm just going to go here because Sunday, as of Sunday, I don't know what it is about Sundays that I feel like folk just feel comfortable on Sundays. And that's when they feel like expressing their feelings about where they are, about the racism and the statues that are coming down. I spoke to a few people. We had to have a coming to the table. We had to have a little discussion. So I've noticed that quite a few people have been having issues with the statues coming down. So I saw a Facebook friend of mine, former high school classmate, who posted a meme. It had the Statue of Liberty hiding behind the post that she sits upon. And it says, "Am I next?"
Oh my God.
Oh, so it was moments like that I had over the weekend, and I'm just like, it is my Sunday. Do I have the energy? And then I've seen another meme that says, you know, when you see posts like that, it says, you know, do you educate? Do you not educate? And you're stuck between the two. So it's just like, there were some of them that got under the skin. I was like, no, we're going to talk today. We're going to talk today. And I do not play when I talk. Like you, Dr. Langley, when you go through the comments and you want to see where everybody is, when I come to you with a clap back, I'm not just going to talk generally. I'm going to go for each and every point that you decided to list. And I'm going to go boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, boom, boom. And I'm going to lay it out for you. And usually there's no response. I'm just saying. A couple times she was, and I was just like, no. I did get a response this week. And it was just in regards to, what's our girl, Candace? Our girl, Candace.
Girl. Your
you
girl.
know who?
Are we pushing back again? That's your girl.
That's your she's out. She ain't kin to me.
Right?
But Candace, somebody posted a post about Candace, and they posted how, I guess, Kanye responded to them, and then their comment was like, see, even Kanye is in agreement. I said, hold up, chick. I said, hold on. I said, Kanye, nor Candace, nor the Democratic Party, nor the Republican Party speak for the Black community. Okay, right. So pause with that. They have no respect over here. Okay, they were kicked out of the barbecue a long time ago. Okay. And then on top of that, she responded to that, just saying that, you know, possibly she was like, well, you know, Martin Luther King, and, you know, there was, you know, the protests and they became violent, and, you know, can't we just sit at the table? Can't we just learn from our mistakes? I said, when you gonna learn from your mistakes? How? What is going to incite the need for change?
Right.
I'll wait. I'll listen. When? How? What is going to cause that? Because we haven't been talking about it. And then, because then we talked about the education. I was like, you don't know. I was like, we don't know the history. I was like, you haven't been really informed. And she's like, well, I learned about things in history. Really? What'd you learn about in history? Because I had to learn mine at home. So if you got yours from a textbook, I'm almost certain that is not the complete history. So I've decided personally, instead of all the clapbacks that I feel like I have to do on a regular basis, I've just started my own. It's not going to be a verbal, but it's just going to be a posting. And it's just a miseducation series about things that you have not learned that you should probably be aware of. And the first one today was just on human zoos. I don't know if everybody knew about that, but they did have human zoos back in the day. And these were in our scientific era when we used a lot of justification. Some of that justification was talking about how white folks, pretty much an image of a German person, was at the top of the, let's say, food chain. And then you had the derivative from them, which was Black people, also Asian folks, Jewish people, and then apes. So I've just decided, instead of continuously having to do all these clapbacks, I'm gonna just do my miseducation series, and then I'm gonna post it in the comments and tell them to get back to me. That's what I'm gonna do, because I'm tired. So I'm sorry. That was a little bit early clapback. It was a little bit long, but I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired. Why do we have to keep having these conversations about these things?
Yeah, why do we?
Why do we have to keep justifying things like the coming down the statues? I'm like, sir, The Berlin Wall had to come down. Some of these things have to come down. I just saw a recent earlier, Marion Sims. He was the godfather of gynecology, which was also going in and horribly, terrifyingly ripping into the vaginas of enslaved women without any anesthesia. His statue came down in 2018 unanimously in New York. This is not new, folks. This is not new. I think it's just so much is coming at you at one time and you're uncomfortable.
That's right.
It couldn't be all this to be that bad. Y'all were horrible. Get it together. Sorry, that's all I got to say. I'm gonna sit down now. I'm gonna play nice. I'm gonna play nice now.
So everybody, so what are your thoughts and comments to Dani's cutback moments? Y'all put it in the comment section. But we're going to give y'all a shout out. Hey, Gwen. Hey, Dennis. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, Shane. Hey, DJ Kevy Kev. Hey, Michael. Thank you for tuning in. He was like, look, as far as with Candace Owens, he's like, just say CO. We can't utter search words.
I'm done.
Michael clapped back. All right. Okay. Listen. So here's the thing. With everything that's going on, that is so true. I agree with you. What do y'all think in regards to Bubba Wallace and that news that the FBI had now rendered as there is no hate crime going on because it's been there since October 2019 in the stall, and he was just given that stall, I guess, a week or two ago. So it couldn't have possibly have happened, where it was like he was a target since it's been there since October 2019. How do we know that it was there since October 2019? But hey. Okay, y'all put that in the comment section. What's y'all thoughts? Then, in regards to what Dani was talking about, in regards to, you know what, do we need to do? I'm like you, Dani. It's like, it's Sunday. I want to praise the Lord. I want to say nice, positive things. I want to talk about gratitude and appreciation. I want to, talk about all the love that's going on, on a Sunday. Jesus Christ is Lord, and all that great stuff.
Yes.
To tell you the truth, it seems like that's when those real. It seems like you said, it's like they have a moment. And I'm not saying they as white people, but it's like people be having a moment.
Right.
Now they're ready to say something. And now they're ready to, like really share how they feel on a Sunday. And then it has you to now to be at that place of decision. Should you now shift from church and Jesus Christ is Lord to now having to clap back quite a few times to try to, educate what was miseducated? You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta make that decision. But like you said, it's like at this point, yeah, we're tired. It is a matter that we are kind of tired. And at this point, I was telling that to a client today. I said, you know what? Which actually would be a great segue into this conversation tonight, actually. I just want to say this, and as we shout everyone out again, thank y'all for tuning in, because you could have tuned in anywhere. And we appreciate that you decided to be a part of this conversation. So thank you so much. On behalf of Dani and myself, thank you so much for being a part of our conversation so that we can all work together on the common good. How do we now help one another, all of us, to advance in adversity? I'm going to read what Michael said real quick, and then we're going to go right into the conversation tonight. Michael said the removal of the statues are just a smoke screen. It is the heart of men that need to change.
I was about to... Go on, Michael. Go on, Michael. Better preach.
Oh, Lord. He said, not to go on a tangent, they will be more than happy to remove, but not change those books.
Better say
he ain't give him that look.
Better say that, Michael.
Yeah, it's like, Michael's like, well, they just need to read the Bible. They read and they know they're in for the thefts. Yeah, they sure do. And that's the thing. It's like, I find it a bit comical. What I mean is, from people just take, like, I think in DC they were trying to take down, I think, was it Lee or Jackson? I don't know if you saw that one. Yeah, I saw the rope around. I think it was Jackson, but they were trying, in DC, trying to topple it down, And then we've seen so many instances and so many of the statues come down. I will never forget the one in Bristol, England, London, where they rolled it down the street, whatever, and then they picked it up, and I guess they were kind of waiting for a few words, like somebody say some final words, and then somebody just had that long hand on this, like, no, forget it. Oh my gosh. And so it is amazing how in Richmond with General Lee, how it's still up and how now lawsuits going around every which way to try to give time for people to put a lawsuit out, I guess the city or against the governor for the fact that the governor's like, look, we're going to take this down. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. But now everybody want to come up and come out of the woodworks to say, no, we got to keep what it would say in the deed, of 17 or 1800 or something. It says here that, we're supposed to protect and take care of it. Okay, well, things have changed, and you know what? You can. I said this earlier. I said this before. Between you 7 descendants, y'all take it. That's fine. Y'all protect it. Y'all serve it. Y'all can decide what day of the week y'all want the statue to be. At your house, at his house, at her house.
Right.
Take
but
it.
they can't stay here. They can stay here.
You don't have to go home, but you got to get the get that statue the heck out of here. So with all of that said, we appreciate y'all comments and we appreciate all that you're sharing. Hey Trina, thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate it. I tell you the truth, it's amazing with how we talk so much about wanting racism to end. We want to be respected. We want to be appreciated. We want to be equal. Right. And it's almost to the point that I see comments going, in various posts where people are saying, well, okay, well, why are we still asking for permission? Why are we still asking, for there to support us? Why can't we just support ourselves?
Right.
So it goes into the conversation today that we're going to have in regards to, this is called Advancing in Adversity, putting colorism on the table. Putting colorism on the table. We're looking for love in all the wrong places. It usually has to start first with ourselves. Do we love ourselves as a Black person, as a Black race, do we love ourselves? Do you love yourself? This is a question put out there to you all watching. Answer back. Do you love yourself? Do you love the color of your skin? Because it's amazing how we always say that, right? Black is beautiful. And, I love the skin that I'm in. And I love all my kinks and I love all my curls and I love, just being unapologetically me. See, it's one thing to say that, but it's another for it to show in your actions. And it's interesting that you may in fact say that you love yourself, but do you love me? Do you love Dani? Do you love Trina? Do you love Michael? Do you love your fellow brother and sister? Oh my gosh. I was counseling a client today, and I would love to actually, what's what I'm looking for? I would love to invite biracial individuals to this platform and have a conversation with them. I've wondered, so different actors like Tia and Tamara Mowry and my man, Lenny Kravitz.
Oh.
And and whoever else. I can't think after Lenny. But I wonder what they were thinking or how they're feeling or how is it going for them.
Right.
My client talked about this today in regards to her challenges. It's like a threefold challenge. The first challenge is that, okay, so she's biracial. One parent's white, one parent's Black. My client never really got along with her white side of the family. When everything had happened, particularly with George Floyd, because my client is in Minneapolis. So when all that had happened and all that they're going through that we don't get to see and we're not privy to see on TV, it is crazy over there. Even now, there's still some craziness going on over there. And my client had devoted their time to their local church to provide services or to help out, to volunteer. So my client talked about how it's a threefold situation that happened. First, they had a situation where someone had questioned if they were Black. They was like, you don't look Black, so you're not Black. And then my client was interviewed by one of the local TV stations over there, and they had to say in the end, "Oh, you know what? Just to let you know, so and so is a Black person." And then the third damning thing was the client had ended up going through a situation with their white side of the family, and my client really questioned about their being Black, not being Black enough, and feeling like they have to support or stand for all Black people. But then the client talked about their white privilege and felt that because of their white privilege, they felt that they definitely need to use that as a platform for them to speak their voice on behalf of Black people. Because my client's already being challenged in so many different ways for a very long time about them being or not being Black enough. The first situation was someone Black challenged them and said, you know, you're not Black because you don't look Black. Or the times that my client talked about how people who were darker than her, my client, they were like, oh, you know, you're not Black because, you know, you think you're better than somebody else because you're lighter than the rest of us. And it's interesting how I always knew or hear so much about darker skinned individuals having the challenge of matching up to someone lighter, you know, or fairer, or have the long, beautiful, flowy hair. And how Hollywood, you know, you'll hear many actresses that talk about that, you know, being like a Viola Davis or, you know, anyone who's of a darker complexion, talk about the challenges of being darker, you know, compared to someone's lighter, and how they don't fare up or match up, you know, or depending on what kind of roles. Come on, I mean, we see a whole thing when it comes to Rihanna and Beyonce, you know, and in the comparison, and how it seems like they, you know, or someone of a lighter complexion fares out better, you know, or considered more attractive, beautiful, successful, great in comparison. And then that's where we pit against each other. So it's interesting to hear from this side of how my client was really struggling with not feeling like they were Black enough and feeling like they have to use their white privilege to speak up on behalf of Black people. Anytime someone thought that they were white, who was a white person, talking to my client about Black people, my client felt that they had to speak up to defend Black people at that moment using their white privilege. So it is very interesting. I wanted to talk about this today because, like I said, we're talking about looking for love from everyone else, other races, other, you know, ethnicities to come and rally with us. But do we love our own selves? That's where it starts. Otherwise, how can we really embrace or accept love anywhere else? How will we even know what love is if we don't first love our own selves? And to really, beyond the words, beyond the cliches and the slogans, trying to convince ourselves, beyond all of that, that if you can look at yourself in the mirror and still appreciate yourself in every sense of the word, every fiber of your being, to still love you. That's what this conversation should be about. Do you love the skin that you're in? For real, for real. So look, I'm looking for comments. Dani, you got the floor with your thoughts. Everybody that's tuning in, please share.
Honey, that was, you digging into the pot, okay? You laying the table out with the whole okay? We got so much on this table right now. But it is, I mean, I think that is, I don't want to say it's not necessarily a taboo subject. It's something that we talk about, but there's so much that is kind of like also embedded within our culture after so much time. And I think this is what Dr. Joy DeGruy calls post-traumatic slave syndrome. I think this is like some of those effects. If you haven't read it, you should also read that book. It's very good. But talking about colorism and our experience with colorism, I know me personally, I am a light-skinned Black woman, but I am not of the lightest spectrum, but I still get called red, yellow, And those things are triggering to me because I always feel that I have to overprove my blackness. I was like, no, I'm not black. I'm blackity black, black, black. But but it's always, it feels like that it's always of a lighter complexion, or the lighter you are. I can only imagine how your client feels having to prove where you fall on that, because I feel like I've had discussions with plenty of girlfriends that I've had that if they were of a darker complexion, I've heard that, they've felt that sometimes their lighter complexion friends thought that they were prettier than them, or tried to present themselves in a particular way. Like you said, getting attention, getting, being this image of a lighter skinned woman that does come from slavery, put into effect by Willie Lynch syndrome. But we've talked about this. But it is, I think that is a dichotomy. And I don't know necessarily how it affects men as much, but I know it definitely affects us as women, and about how we see ourselves. Because I think, what was that back in the, I don't want to say, maybe it was 70s, like you were saying, there was that push that, black is beautiful. But do we all see ourselves as beautiful? Me now, if I see a sister walking down the street, if she doing that thing, I'ma speak on it. Doesn't matter what she looks like, because I feel like for me, that is my part. I remember, I think I saw Jill Scott said something similar in an interview. And it was just like, if you see something, you speak on that. You always give compliments to your other queens that you see that are out here doing that, and I think that that is part of, for me, that love. It's that the woman, the beautiful woman in me sees the beautiful woman on you, and I'm going to compliment you. I'm going to tell you what I see in you. To me, that is part of that love experience. Or even if it's just a smile, I see a black father with his kids, and I just look, I'm like, I'm not trying to make a kid or anything, but just to see that. So it's just, for me, expressing that love for myself is also sharing it with others, and making sure that there's that reciprocity there. And I feel like the more that we put into each other, that continues to flow. But yeah, I mean, you said a whole lot. And you know what brought me back to? The movie School Days. Remember that movie?
Yep.
School Days with Spike Lee. Oh, that was go see that. I don't know if it's on Netflix, but go see that. But yeah, I mean, there are so many connotations to that. Back to, I mean, they were using everything, talking about jigaboo and this and that and good and bad hair. Oh, that is one right there, talking about good and bad hair. Colorism, what's your hair texture like? That means it's good hair. I mean, I remember like years ago when Chris Rock did that documentary talking about what's good hair, what's black, what's bad hair, and how do they differentiate. So it's, there are so many things that just line up on that colorism table. And I think it's how we create more distance and separate ourselves instead of celebrating the different things that make us us. And those things should be celebrated.
Awesome. That's all you got?
There's just so much on the table. I just picked like some bread, some corn, a little gravy, macaroni cheese.
That's why Dani's here, y'all. What do you think? I see Michael has shared, and I was trying to rename this on the platform here. Let's see what you got, Michael. So you said, better question, do you know yourself? To love yourself, you have to know who you are. And most of us know what we have been told we are to be, but most of us suffer identity confusion. Am I an athlete? Am I to be smart? Am I a thug, or am I a doctor? I'm going to be silent now. Stay blessed. So we're going to bring you on. I'm telling you, Michael, you're finding your way right here on this platform. Don't have me bring you on here and give you the link to this
Yes.
pod, okay? But here's the thing. Yes, the better question is, do we even know ourselves, right? But we talked about that extensively in these series, overcoming during and after the pandemic, advancing in adversity. We talked about first coming to know who you are, beyond the role, the title, beyond what you have portrayed and you have displayed. Now it's about the rubber meeting the road, right? Like the proof is really in the pudding. And I find that we always trying to skip steps because we're trying to be so fast and instantaneous. And rather taking the time to really take this conversation and really sit and reflect. Do you know yourself? And then outside of that, do you love yourself? We're expecting love from everyone else, but we don't put the time in to love our own selves or even get to know ourselves enough to find something to love ourselves about or to be grateful and appreciative for who we are. I tell you the truth. Have these few months not haven't taught you like much of anything, meaning for me, for y'all who know me and followed me for years. So my mom has always been such a classy, elegant model. And she never pushed her modeling career on me, ever. I didn't think I could be a model actually, because I was only 5'4", although she was 5'2". So, but I always thought about, when I saw a model, I thought tall, 5'10", skinny, whatever, white. Until Tyra Banks, and then my girl over in London, what's her name?
Naomi Campbell.
Yes, Naomi Campbell. So when they trailblazed and showed Black girls that no, you too can be a model, right?
Yeah.
But the point is that my mom always was classy. She always was dressed up. She always just had herself together. And while she didn't push it on me, because I was just I'm of her, I started to dabble in, like, years later. I was a tomboy. I appreciate it. I have 5 brothers, and I was the only daughter. My sister had passed away, but it's like, so I was the only girl, and I was around boys, so I just wanted to be a tomboy. And as I, grew up, I started to go into the makeup and the shoes and the purses and all that stuff. Finally made my mom happy. She was questioning, like, do I have sex boys? But the point is, I tell you the truth, I have enjoyed. Now, outside of everything that has happened, of course, I'm not saying how I appreciate how the pandemic has hit us all. But during this time being quarantined and staying in place, that I didn't have to put makeup on. I see a lot of people doing, their Facebook Lives and their YouTube channels and things like that. And they're still, like, we still got to represent and be as if. But I tell you the truth, for me, I already did that for 10 years. I was like, I'm going to enjoy not having makeup on. I'm going to enjoy my eyebrows, growing out. I'm going to enjoy. Now, I did my nails, y'all. Now, the other day, if y'all have noticed throughout the series, whatever, if y'all really looked at my nails, really like pause the video and like zoom, you would have noticed that my gel nails had grew. My nails always grow. They were always long, always long. So the gel nails were like tips at this point. So they grew out for 3 months. And I didn't care. Nobody could tell me nothing. They didn't tell me nothing. Okay? I enjoyed it. I tell you the truth, I enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. And so my point is that, if I could teach, if y'all really, for those who have picked up my book, It's Your Turn Now, 7 Secrets to Living Life on Your Own Terms, plug, shameless plug. Those 3 masks that we wear. You have the pretty self, the desperate self, and the dreaded self. And the pretty self is a self that we portray. That's the one that we will, for face value, we show ourselves to be, ambitious, hard-driven, successful, living a life, we got it together. Because behind that mask is really the desperate mask. The desperate mask is the performer mask. That's the mask where with someone out of 1,000 people that you have wowed, or 999 people that you wowed, that one that you didn't wow, you're like, you know what? There's something behind this. I don't really believe that she is ambitious and successful as she says she is. So I don't believe her. We don't pay attention to the 999 people that's celebrating us. We're going to go to the one that do not, that has to question us. Because our identity was faulty in the beginning, in the first place. Because our identity was wrapped up with our makeup. It was wrapped up with our clothes. It was wrapped up to what we drive. It was wrapped up in what we do. It was wrapped up in our status and our money. But not taking the time to really come to know who you are outside of all of that, and to stop and to appreciate who you are, mind, body, and spirit. But the only way that you're going to get to know yourself is to make time to now, like what Michael said, come to know who you are.
Yes.
That you can show up on a Zoom without the makeup on. I only did this tonight because Dani looked like she had some makeup on. Otherwise, I was going to come here with a fresh face today. Like, I'm tired. I'm not going to keep doing this. I tell y'all know how I can dress. Y'all know how I can look. And I have appreciated these few months to go ahead and just wear a daggone jacket and a halter top. Y'all know, for those who know me and followed me for 10 years. So what I'm saying, it's time to take the mask off. Although I know that you may not take the mask off because of the dreaded mask. What is that mask, you might say, Dr. Sarah? The dreaded mask, thank you for asking. It is that dreaded part of you that you and no one else goes to. Because right there, that is opposite of your pretty mask. The pretty mask was the successful, ambitious, driven person. The dreaded self or the dreaded mask is the one where you feel insignificant. It's always opposite of what you portray. So really, you feel like you're insignificant, you're small, you're worthless, you're nothing, probably because of what you were told, what you were taught, what you have seen, what you have experienced, what you have witnessed. And now it's like it's never ending. And you're so exhausted and tired of trying to portray something that you feel you're not. So what has to happen? These masks have to go. And it's easier said than done because all you've known for so many years is to keep those masks on. But hey, let me ask you a question, because you know someone had said this a long time ago, powerful people ask powerful questions. So let this powerful person ask you, powerful people, how is all that serving you? With this whole 3 masks that you wear. That alone makes me feel worn out and tired. I can only imagine how you feel. So, what is the answer to putting the colorism on the table? We answered it. It's time to come to know who you are. It's time for you to know that reformed or reframed self. Because see, the beauty of it all is that pretty mask, that pretty self that you've been portraying all this time was really the true and living you the whole time. It's just that you were performing, you were acting, as opposed to being. There's a difference. The difference between acting versus being who you truly are. All this has to take place in regards to making that decision and identifying what are the drivers that's driving you to keep this performance up. When you identify that, it makes it easier and the possibility for you to drop the mask and to really embrace the skin that you're in, to really be able to come and be seen by thousands of people or hundreds of thousands of people, and you be okay with your scarf. Don't have me take this off. Don't have me take this off. Don't dare me. Don't y'all dare me. Don't y'all dare me.
Don't, please don't. I'm not ready.
Listen, Dani's not there yet. Dani's not there.
I'm not there. Not there.
I'm gonna have to counsel Dani.
Okay, Dr. PLC pretty hurts. No, I'm not ready.
Listen, y'all gotta get to that place where y'all actually love yourselves. Good, bad, and indifferent, in between. And that doesn't matter what anybody say. When you first start to love who you are and the skin that you're in, then it makes it easier for everybody to follow suit and follow your example because you're leading it. So, hey, what are y'all thoughts? Dani, what's your thought? I would love to hear your comments because I can rap about this all day long. But it's about y'all coming to, coming to Jesus moment here. Go ahead, Dani.
You know what? There's so much in that. I mean, just everything. There's so much in that self-discovery. Like you're saying, that mask. I was when I had to look up, I was like, who's the artist that's saying that? Like Future, mask off. Mask off. No, I mean, it's very true. It's and again, just to piggyback on what you mentioned yesterday, is that I feel also that mask is that hides that ugly part, right? There's those ugly things that we kind of try to keep hidden from the light, or those things that we don't want to address. And then even if we do hold that in and you're not working on it, you're not addressing, it's just there, it's going to come out. even if you don't address it, you choose not to look at it, you hide it, nobody gonna see it. But the
Yep.
truth is, like you were mentioning yesterday, it's going to come out even in seeing somebody else. You might be triggered by somebody else's behavior, somebody else's action, something about somebody else that you don't like in yourself and that you know is not good in yourself, but it's going to bother you about somebody else. And you're going to get mad. You be like, I hate that about that person. Or, this is, that bothers me. But why does it bother you so much? It's because it's in there. It's because you are dealing with it. Or it could be. I mean, it could be something else. But it could be that it's something that you're not dealing with or choosing not dealing with, or just kind of like keep it buried down and not even addressing it. So, I mean, that's so true. That's so true. And when those feelings or those triggers do come up, I mean, that's really the time to check. It's like, where is that coming from? Is that me? It's like kind of like, just like, you smell something. Is that me? You gotta check yourself. Is that me? I don't know. I mean, it's important to do our own self-examination. It's important to check yourself in your mirror for those ugly parts, and it's okay to address them. It's not comfortable. It's not comfortable for anybody dealing with those ugly hidden areas that we try to keep hidden from the light. But the more that you deal with it, the more that you address it, you bring it to the table, you bring it to the light, it's like you're healing yourself from it, but you are making yourself more beautiful. Yeah. You're emptying out those things. That's the beauty in that, because there's humility in that, right? You're accepting, I'm not perfect. I'm not, and I've got this ugly stuff in there. It doesn't make me perfect. And you're dealing with it, and it makes you more humble, because you're like, yeah, I don't have my stuff together. And that's okay. And that is okay. Not to have it together is okay. Because I don't know if nobody told you, none of us do. We are all working on our inner selves to do better, to find that growth. None of us have arrived. And, most of us, if we have, we probably done here. So, it's okay. It's okay to address those ugly hidden parts, because dealing with that makes you beautiful.
That is so beautiful. Well said. Here, here. Snap, snaps. Snap, snaps. What do y'all say? We're looking for your comments. We really would appreciate you sharing. Hey, Maxine, thank you for tuning in. Yes. So, look, we're bringing this to a close. If you have challenges in self-love, in being able to, hey, I want to take these masks off, Dr. Sarah, that you talked about, you can always check me out. You can always inbox me so we can have a conversation to help you to now unveil those masks, to take those masks off, and to really be able to embrace the beauty that you have, not just from within, but without. Like Dani said, there's such it's such a humility. Like, it's not just, and not only just humility, but it's almost like a rebirth. Yeah. It's like a newness, because now it's you being real, truly authentic. Right. Now, y'all know my brand, Be Limitless. Mm-hmm. I haven't talked about that in a long time. It's time for me to bring that back. It's time for us to really be limitless, because being limitless really means being authentic. Mm-hmm. We're taking all the limits off. No holding ourselves back. Mm-hmm. Do you know that we need you to show up in your authentic self? You play part of this puzzle. Right. You are such a unique piece that we need you. And not saying to need you, that, because sometimes when I used to hear this word need, like, I was like, oh my God, that's so heavy. Like, I don't want to be needed, because of my background, my history. But we need you to be, because you're part of this puzzle. And when we come together, it brings, oh my God, it just makes such a beautiful masterpiece. So please, it is time for you to show up, be limitless, be authentic, be imperfectly perfect. As I talk about in my book, It's Your Turn Now, 7 Secrets to Living Life on Your Own Terms. It's on Amazon. You can go get and grab it, or I'll link in the comment section, so that you can learn how to be imperfectly perfect. I tell you, the book when I wrote that book, it was pretty much based on my life, but also I used other examples of other people's lives on how they started off, where they were to where they became, because they figured out the 7 secrets to living life on your own terms, unapologetically and guiltlessly. And so now we're encouraging you to do the same. And it really starts about having this conversation concerning colorism. We need to now represent and also our babies, our future, that they're able to embrace and love themselves in the skin that they're in. No more, pitting after each other. That's how we were conditioned and trained and designed, or not designed, but conditioned and programmed, to not love ourselves. We're going to talk about that another time this week, prayerfully, in regards to how we talk about this black on black crime. And I know that's another, I want to trigger y'all. I want to trigger everybody, because I see that that's like a stark conversation, in regards to, there is black on black crime. I am on the side of it ain't no black on black crime. That's ridiculous.
I thought we debunked this.
Yeah, I don't think we did. We're gonna have to debunk it again. So definitely we're gonna have that conversation. So y'all hold on to y'all daggone hair pieces and hair wraps, because we're gonna really address that. Because it's time for us to now learn, before we end this Advancing in Adversity series, that we're gonna start pushing you all lovingly towards really being able to address and challenge the real thoughts that you may have. You may not have those thoughts, but you may know someone that does. Right. So now we're just prepping you on how to have that conversation with the people who have that type of thinking, where they really don't love themselves. And they may pretend and they may act because it sounds good, it looks cute. Right. But we need to get ourselves ready if we're going to really advance in adversity, especially in this climate that we're in right now. When we get over to the other side, we all going to have to rally together. And it really starts with us loving ourselves, coming to know who we are, and really being able to embrace the skin that we're in. So, hey, I challenge y'all. I love giving homework assignments. Why don't y'all, whoever, for the ones who do, this may not apply to you, Michael, but for, if you're doing any type of anything that has to deal with being in front of people, I challenge you with this no makeup challenge, or I challenge you to just, you can hydrate, you can, put the moisturizer on everything, have the lips, moist with the chapstick and everything, but I'm saying, why don't you challenge yourself on one thing that you felt that you couldn't challenge yourself on? Mm-hmm. It was interesting. I tell you the truth, because all I've known was makeup and dress up and all that. So this pandemic, I tell you the truth, in the beginning, no, I ain't gonna lie about the lie. Look, I honestly, I did enjoy. I truly did. Oh my God. I enjoyed not having to put on no lipstick. But anyway, so I wish I could lie and say, well, it was hard for me. It wasn't. But y'all, I'm asking you to do something that's gonna be challenging. And you talk back to us. Put in the comment section that you're down for the challenge. I challenge you. We challenge you. Challenge. I dare you. I triple dare you. To do something outside of your character that's legal within reason, regarding what is something that you would not normally do, that I want you to show up in your authentic self, whether it's you saying something different, you looking different, but it has to do with you just being natural, just being you, so that you get into the habit, you expose yourself to now being able to do more of it, to now get into this habit, this new habit, because we got to do things differently to get different results. So this new habit or posture that will change your mindset to say, you know what, wow, this was cool. I was able to do this, without concern about what people have to say or think about me, without concern of being humiliated, without concern of someone judging me. I really want to push you past judgment, concerns of people judging you. I really want to push you past concern about what other people have to heck this. Y'all got to see, y'all already got me. I was doing great. I did not secondhand cuss the whole entire time. So I know it's time for us to go. Lord. So I really want y'all to push past yourselves so that you can get to a place that you authentically, unequivocally, undeniably come to love yourself and love the skin that you in, for real, for real. FR. Yeah. So who's down with that challenge? Y'all put in the comment section so I can seek y'all out, hold y'all accountable, make sure that y'all doing it. If y'all need that support, that tough love, so that we all can be prepared to advance in adversity and get to the other side, loving ourselves and loving one another. All right, so that's all I got. Again, this is like a Jerry Springer moment, I guess.
Brought it all together, honey. Brought it all home.
On the whole. That's right. That's right. So everyone, thank y'all for tuning in. I hope this was helpful. We hope that you appreciate it. Please share this. Share, share, share. I want to give a shout out to Damon. I hope I said the name right, man. Brown. Now he is very interesting. I didn't see him on here tonight. That doesn't mean I won't see him, but he, constantly is sharing out. Michael, thank you. You share out. Dani, thank you for sharing out. Everybody, take the time to share this out. Let's address these issues so that we can be fully prepared and truly loving ourselves, so that no one, no other race, no ethnicity or whatever. I'm not trying to pit, divide, but we need to really love ourselves as a people, for real. So let's just please share it out, because sharing is caring, and you never know, you just might save a life in the process. So please share this out. And we just appreciate your time today. Y'all can continue to leave comments in the comment section. If y'all doing the replay, please put the comments in the comment section. We definitely check them out after, and so that we can respond. And let us know what you would like to, for us to talk about. If these conversations are helpful, if there's something else that you want us to talk about before we wrap up the series, put it in the comment section or inbox us so we can be of support to you. And if you do need counseling, if you do need mental wellness, if you do need help in regards to how do you address those masks that you wear, how do you now get to the place of that reformed mask, that reframed mask, because now it's coming from you acting to being, to becoming the true and living you. Then please inbox me so we can start the conversation, so I can be more than happy to be at your service and to best support you. All right, everybody. Dani, any final words?
I think you have laid it all out well, Dr. Langley.
Mic drop. Y'all take care. Please be blessed. Hey, Virginia, thank you for tuning in, everyone. We really appreciate you. Y'all have a great time, a great day on purpose, and we look forward to being before you next time. Everybody have a great one, and thank you so much for your time. Dani, as always, thank you so much. Really appreciate you.
Oh, thanks for having me.
All right, everyone. Bye.